Imagine waking up to beautiful sunrises, always surrounded by nature, and swimming in crystal clear waters with the ocean all around you. A world where the wind decides in which bay you throw your anchor for the night, just to wake up to the next priceless sunrise. Now imagine reducing all your belongings to the most essential things, so they fit on a home less than 11 meters long, with not much to worry about, and time to reflect on the meaning of life while enjoying peaceful nights under sail at sea. Are you ready to turn off the engine?
Would you give up the comfort of your house? The choice seems simple. 80% of the time, living aboard a floating home is hard work. Work you don't get paid for, quite the opposite. Things break all the time, and you need time and money to keep the ship maintained and save for all those sunsets you chase. And if you found yourself on the wrong side of the island when the weather hits you, just try to get some sleep. This week we're happy to show you around our boat and give you a glimpse of what it's like to spend every day on our wobbling 10 meters of fiberglass.
So today we are having a little bit of a slow sailing day. There is not really a lot of wind, so we decided to do something against the boredom and show you around our home and give you a tour, because we haven't done that yet. And after 6 months, I think that is kind of time, don't you think?
It is.
Yeah.
Welcome!
Welcome! This is Blue!
We bought the boat last year in October at the end of the season, and we left it on the hard until springtime, and then we started this adventure. Blue is 36 foot long, that's 10 meter 80. It has sails, it has an engine.
It has 2 sails. We have a depth or draught of 160, which is pretty good. A lot of boats are a lot deeper, so that means that we don't really have to worry often when it gets shallow. We have 2 big sails, one Genoa, which is on the front. It's basically our sailing motor, it's really big. And then we have our main sail. I think that's it. We have 3 cabins, a kitchen, a bathroom, and we'll show you that now.
Before we continue on board, some more facts combined with beautiful drone shots to keep your attention. We have 2 water tanks forward and aft, and combined can store 270 liters of fresh water. Also, the boat is equipped with a water heater, so if we use the engine or if we are plugged in when in harbor, we have warm water. Actually, when we navigate to an anchorage and drop anchor, that time is enough to have a hot shower. Very nice! Our diesel tank is quite little though, compared to other boats, and stores 75 liters of diesel. We keep spare jerry cans. The boat weighs about 6 tons. 2 tons alone go into the keel. There are many different kinds of keels. We have a winged keel. The advantages are endless. Mainly, it is super stable when sailing upwind, and the keel is very shallow. Also, it looks cool. The hull itself is made of fiberglass, which is a fancy word for very hard plastic. Ooh, and the mast height is 15 meters, I think. Is it? 15? Yes, 15 meters. 15.
Captain, you take over.
Thank you. So, this is the cockpit. We have 1 wheel, which is too bad. The new models have 2 wheels. The main advantage of that is that you can walk. But in 2001, people built boats like this, and it's still great because it's a wheel. You can steer it. Right here we have the instruments. We have a plotter that shows us a map and a lot of data, and we won't get into it. We have a compass that is blocked by our cup of water, and this is the engine panel. We have a 29 horsepower diesel, which sounds little, but it's enough to keep us moving. And that's tank, and this is the autopilot. The autopilot works, we just set a course, we push the button and the boat keeps the course. Without that, we wouldn't have any free minutes. Well, we also put a phone here next to that as a second navigation, and maybe even a third one, depending on how crazy we are today. So also in the cockpit we have two lockers, one on the starboard side and one on the port side. The one on the starboard side is full of dangerous liquids like fuel, gas, oil, and a lot of chemicals. And on the other side we have a lot of other things like lines, hoses, and our swimming gear. Also we have a second anchor that we throw out when we want to. That's all in here. Here we have two other instruments. One is the wind and the other one is a quad display. It shows us the depth, the speed, and some temperature of a place that I don't know.
We haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah. So the wind is the most important one. It shows us the wind direction and the speed, so we can trim the sails. Up here we have a winch and there's another one, and all the lines that we need to adjust the sails lead back to the cockpit, so we actually never have to leave the cockpit, only if something breaks. So we can pull the main, we can adjust the halyards, everything's here.
So I'm sitting on the deck right now. This is actually my favorite place, especially when it gets a little bit rocky, like it is also starting to get now. This is a very good place to be when you get a little bit seasick. Here you can see all the lines that run to the cockpit. They all run to the boom and the mast. Then here at the front, so these two lines, they lead to our Genoa. It's rolled up right now. We have here two hatches, one going to the bedroom or the front cabin and one to the salon. And then here we have our anchor locker. We have 50 meters of 10mm chain. We have a 15 kilo delta anchor, which is actually pretty good, and we're very happy with that. Here, this machine is very important because this pulls up our anchor. These are the buttons to control it, and without it, it's really heavy. So very happy that one works. And sometimes it doesn't, and then we're kind of freaked out. Hello!
Hi! So, here we go. That's the salon.
Okay, so this is our one couch. It's currently really big because this is an extra piece you can put in so you can actually sleep. It comes out really easy. There's a little piece of wood under it with a little foot. We actually keep it like this most of the time because when it's swelly at night or when we sail at night, which we have only done once, this is very nice for sleeping. So we don't want to build it up and down because we actually are outside anyway. The tables, they flip up, and the other side too. So we have a nice big table and can seat like 6-7 people easily. In here we have alcohol and sunscreen, nice combination. Then under all the couches there is storage. Behind the couches there is storage. I can show you one so you know what it looks like. For example, there's like holes like this, so you can store stuff behind it. And here there's like, goes up like this, so you can store stuff in there too. And this is our book section, which actually stays because we got a good book holder, I guess. And this is like the anti-slidey stuff. So the book's
called anti-slip.
Anti-slip, even in English. Okay. So this actually stays when we're going left or right or heeling over. The books actually don't come out. We have 3 cabinets. This is one we call the random utility closet because there's random stuff in it. Here's a bigger one that has just some games and stuff in it. And then we have a third one over here, and that has mainly food in it. So right now I'm sitting on the navigation. Nobody cares. So right now I am sitting on the navigation table. Here we have all our instruments, which is actually not that much because most of them are outside. We have our battery monitor here, and only the voltage works. The other part, we have a missing piece we found out after quite a while, so we can't see how much we're charging or discharging, but as long as the voltage is good, we're happy. Then we have a instrument here that is an extra plotter. Ooh. But we haven't used it at all, so it's actually really old and black and white. Then We put an iPad up, which is actually just Spotify connected to the car radio. Very fancy. This is our VHF. With this we can communicate with other people and bridges and marina and stuff. And this here is our electrical panel, and all these buttons do something so stuff works in the boat. We also have storage under here where we keep, like, probably everybody important papers, computers, passports. Here is another big place to store stuff where we keep everything that is electronics, like cameras, drones, other computer stuff. We just turned off the motor so we have less noise, but since we didn't really set the sails, it started to make also a lot of noise. So we have to try and get a little bit on course so the boat doesn't just bob around. How much did we go off course?
90 degrees.
90 degrees. Ah, okay.
And the boat tour continues.
Oh yeah, we got a little bit interrupted. Okay, so last two things here in the navigation table. We actually have another place here, down here, to store things, and a very big one here under the seat. Next,
we have 2 cabins in the back for 2 people each. Even though this is empty, normally it's full of stuff because we use it as a storage space. There's all kinds of stuff in here, like bread, pita bread, cracker bread, and life jackets. Very important.
and don't forget all my clothes. And I have too many.
Down below here are actually our batteries. We have 420 amp hours. That's quite a lot because we upgraded it because we didn't want to care about power. And here's another one. This is actually storage area right now. It looks quite the same, so don't bother about it. There's more kitchen and supplies. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, again. So all those 420 amps of batteries down below are connected to a charge controller, and those are connected to these solar panels. We have 2 flexible ones on the Bimini and 1 on our Duffet. A Duffet is used as a device to carry stuff. We carry our solar panel with it. This is the V-berth. We have 1 hatch and no windows, which is a bit sad, but also nice because it's dark.
And not so hot.
Yeah, this is where we sleep. Oh yeah, we have a piano over here. And here's a cabinet with the only clothes that I own.
Aw, very little, because actually most of it in there is still mine.
Yeah.
Still alright, Captain? Not hitting anything?
We are fine. We are 1 hour outside of Catania and everything's perfect. If you want to see more sailing adventures and want to know how we got to Catania, subscribe to see the little things and be entertained every Saturday if we manage.
So this is our kitchen, or as they call it in boats, pantry or galley. I think there's several words for it. We just call it kitchen because it's easier. We have 3 cabinets over here, and that seems really little, but actually we fit quite a lot in it. And this one we just have like too many glasses and other stuff to eat with. Here, this is mainly herbs and other food stuff that we need for cooking. Up here is more storage space, which is really handy because you can put lots of flat stuff in there. Over here we have our gimbaled stove, because when you are sailing, you are heeling over and you want your tea water to not go over you, which hurts. We actually have an oven, which you might have seen because I bake a lot of bread, and it's done in this one. It's just a gas oven, but it's very good, and it can heat it up to over 250 degrees, which I like. Over here is another cabinet with just pots and pans. And then we have a top-loading fridge, which opens like this. and that is actually really a pain because it's very hard to get stuff out and everything's wet, and well, you have to get used to it. This is our double sink, which is really nice, and we actually have 2 cutting boards on here, but I mostly have one somewhere else because it's not very easy if you want to use the tap. We have a water filter, so we don't have to drink from bottles per se. And then down here we have another big cabinet, and that actually contains our fridge, which gets really hot, so we often have this one open because otherwise our trash, which is on this side, gets really hot and smelly. And as you can see, I stored more stuff down there. And then we have one drawer with some cutlery and stuff. And that is about it in the kitchen. Our last room.
One of the best features of this 36-foot boat in particular is a big bathroom. Most have a small one and a bigger saloon, but this is quite big too. But we have separate shower and toilet. Most boats of this size have a shower in the sink, so you pull it out and then you just take your shower, and that's basically half the size. But this one has a separate shower over there with a tap that you can pull up and put there, so it's a proper shower with proper sink and a toilet. Amazing.
And behind there is actually our only storage
that we basically never use.
No, well, I just use it, but there's lots of stuff in there that could actually go. Yeah, and because we don't have any other storages, we got all these really cool things from IKEA. They're called Tisken. And we put them up everywhere. It's like everything, these and these and these. And there. This one too. And also that one to hang up our shower head. It's all just suction caps, so we didn't have to make any holes anywhere. And then my beautiful mirror, which unfortunately after falling down twice because of ferry and big boats, well, lost a piece. So another pretty cool feature in this boat is that you can actually lift every single floorboard. Only 2 have these holes in it, so you can't lift them all by themselves. But if you take this out, you can take the next out and all of them, and we can actually use all of it for food storage. We have lots of stuff in here. Also, let's see here. We can lift everything and use everything in the hull as storage, as long as it's something that can get wet, because in case you get water in the bilge, of course it will get wet. But knock on wood, never had anything. So that was the tour of our lovely home Blue, which is, by the way, a Beneteau Oceanus Clipper 361, just for the people who know boats. We could actually show you a lot more things and explain a lot more things. And we could talk about every tiny detail for hours. So if you have some specific questions or some specific things you'd like to know, please write it in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the tour and have a little bit of a better idea of what we live in on a daily basis. See you next time.
If you made it this far into the video, you must truly be our biggest fan. We'd like to exchange your gift of time for a little gift of our own. I, Mandy, use the words actually and stuff way too often in this video. The person who writes the correct amount of actuallys and stuffs down below in the comment section will be sent a little gift. And maybe you might even be the first person to visit us aboard Blue when we hit 100,000 subscribers. Good luck!